And welcome back to Atreyu News. I just wanted to bring a few things to the light. I also started this channel for a very real reason. To bring the truth to the light and to wake people up about what's really going on here. I took this excerpt from the RNC. This is Dr. Ben Carson. He explains a little bit about Hillary Clinton's relationship with a man named Saul Alinsky. And it goes into a little bit detail later, but let's take a listen.
Now, one of the things that I have learned about Hillary Clinton is that one of her heroes, her mentors, was Saul Alinsky. And her senior thesis was about Saul Alinsky. This was someone that she greatly admired and that affected all of her philosophies subsequently. Now, interestingly enough, let me tell you something about Saul Alinsky. He wrote a book called Rules for Radicals. On the dedication page, it acknowledges Lucifer, the original radical who gained his own kingdom. Now, think about that. This is a nation where our founding document, the Declaration of Independence, talks about certain inalienable rights that come from our Creator. So are we willing to elect someone as president who has as their role model somebody who acknowledges Lucifer? Think about that.
So that is quite fascinating. So I looked a little bit more into it, and here it is on Wikipedia, Hillary Rodham's senior thesis. So the thesis was sympathetic to Alinsky's critique of government anti-poverty programs, but criticized Alinsky's methods as largely ineffective, all the while describing Alinsky's personality as appealing. The thesis sought to fit Alinsky into a line of American social activists, written to formal academic language. The thesis concluded that Alinsky's power conflict model is rendered inapplicable by existing social conflicts, and that Alinsky's model had not expanded nationally due to the anarchist nature of small autonomous conflict until now. Hillary Clinton brought Saul Alinsky's rules or radicals to life, and I thank God every single day that she didn't win. Getting back to the actual quote that you can find in Alinsky's book, lest we forget at least an over-the-shoulder acknowledgement to the very first radical from our legends, mythology, and history, and who is to know where mythology leaves off and history begins, or which is which. The very first radical known to man who rebelled against the establishment and did it so effectively that he at least won his own kingdom, Lucifer. And this is the book that the Democrats use. This is our enemy that we're fighting against. So when you see the left, who is violent and hateful, like, they don't even seem like humans. It seems like demons in human skin, because I honestly think that Lucifer is like pumping through their veins. The way they think, the way they act, it is a Luciferian ideology. And getting to the rules, I find it very interesting that the left calls us what they themselves are. And here are the rules for the radicals. There's 13 rules. And number 5 I noticed stuck out more than anything else. Ridicule is man's most potent weapon. There is no defense. It's irrational. It's infuriating. It also works as a key pressure point to force the enemy into concessions, which we see all the time. Ridicule. Trump gets ridiculed for things that the left themselves are. Just like the Russia thing, it's because Hillary gave uranium to Russia. So before anybody figured that out, they just said Russia's with Trump to get them off their own back. And then number 9 stuck out as well. The threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. Imagination and ego can dream up many more consequences than any activist. As we see with the mainstream media, what they push, so true it is. The threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. Anyways, I found that fascinating. Just a deeper look on the left's ideology. It becomes quite clear when you realize that they're, whether willingly or unwillingly, working for Lucifer.